29 Hours, Part 2, The PM. As a 2022-2023 school year kindergartner, Grand 1 John discovered that, compared to his peers, he excelled in age-appropriate mathematics. Said discovery leading him to coin the self-descriptive term mathable, as in, I'm very mathable. His proclivity for counting, simple addition and subtraction became a bit of sword and shield when confronted with the quest to learn to read. Said sword, being unsheathed with his peregrination to the land of reading and writing, proved a noticeably more difficult journey for him than had his early dealings with basic arithmetic. Pride and defensive ego led him to uttering, I'm very mathable, not only as a point of self-descriptive pride, but also as a whataboutism, a defense for his offense of being below his class median vis-a-vis language arts. If one were to ask the Grand One what half of 20 is, he would quickly respond with 10. Asking what half of 30 is would cause his score to decrease, but given time and a bit of coaching, he would come up with 15. Half of 29, however, would exceed his 6-year-old brain's current ability, but it is the latter half of Sean's and my 29 hours of Des Moines that I now turn. Wednesday the 13th, son Kevin was at home, though on call with work, and after my ding-darling trail meander, I invited him out to his garage to assist me in performing a bit of maintenance on the Cannondale hybrid I'd ridden. The goal of said invitation to both bring his summer steed to a higher level of performance and, more importantly, to show him a bit of basic bicycle upkeep in order to make riding more pleasurable between my semi-annual Raleigh to Des Moines treks. After a quick and rather inefficacious going over of the Cannondale, I made notes on items to bring for my next visit to get the poor baby up to snuff. In preparation for a skill drill to come, I then turned to John's far too seldom used 20-inch wheel bike. I added a front handbrake to the bike's rear coaster plus rear handbrake and removed the bike's training wheels. Lunchtime rolled around and Kevin drove Sean and me to Pancheros, and we ordered 4 items from the menu, one of which we delivered to Katie at her office and the others we took home to eat on the Grand One's back deck. Time ticked slowly by from John's 7:30 departure from home until 3:30 when we finally reached the end of John's school day. Rather than John's normal routine of after-school care, Kevin drove us to John's school and we brought him home, a home where Sean had willingly acceded to my request to help John learn to ride a bike without training wheels. Because Kevin and Katie are busy people who must squeeze many things into their full schedules, when they go bicycle riding as a family, they find themselves having John ride with them using a trailer bike rather than having John ride his own bike. A TAB is a wonderful device with a handlebar, crank, and pedals, no brake, that attaches to an adult's bike and allows children to either pedal or coast as they sit on the TAB. John's TAB being the very one I purchased to use with my 2 sons over a quarter century ago. It's a wonderful device that allows families to enjoy the fun and exercise of cycling together, but provides virtually zero instruction for the child regarding balancing on one's own. With limited time, KK and Jay would either go for walks, runs, or cycle with Jay on the TAB. So, despite my efforts to go training wheels free at my house during John's June visit to Raleigh, he was unable to ride a 2-wheeler. A situation I would again attempt to end with some after-school 2-wheeler, no training wheels bike instruction. Once we were home and I explained to John how his Uncle Sean and I were going to help him learn to ride without training wheels, John was thrilled. Not! But I quietly insisted and we persisted. The process is easy. Think grassy slope, 1 adult at the top of the slope to get the child started, 1 at the bottom to catch him before he falls, B.F. Skinner, pigeons and successive approximation. The going was not. There were crashes in the grass, some of which hurt, but did not injure. There were tears, and there was success. With John having made successful runs, I had Kevin join us and take a video of John riding a bike, a video both to celebrate and to serve as a template for K and K to use as they help John in his journey of mastering the art of riding a 2-wheeler. John made progress in learning to ride, and his success was sufficient to convince him that he could succeed, just as he had with arithmetic, and just as he was proceeding with learning to read and write. Patience with, for, and by, along with reasonable expectations and lots of well-deserved encouragement, won the day. And Kevin and Katie promised they'd find time to help John with his climb from neophyte to cycling ninja.